Can you make these juicy and tender beef ribs on your portable compact grill? Well, let's find out.
A big thanks to Lotus Grills for sponsoring this episode.
We got some great weather, everybody's going out, having a good time, camping trips on the weekend, but it also comes with a problem. Which grill are you going to take while you're going camping? Well, personally, I'll be taking this. This is the LotusGrill. This is a compact grill, which is super light, very convenient to travel with. And I've already tested it with chicken wings, with sausages, and I actually found out that it's perfect to put a pan on and to cook on it. But if I'm taking this on my summer holiday, I also wanted to smoke larger pieces of meat on. And I thought, if I'm going to do the test, I might as well do it in a proper way. Oh, why do I do this? So I decided today is the day that I'm gonna smoke beef ribs on a compact tabletop grill. And yes, that's a crazy idea because that's not what this grill is made for, but perhaps we can make it work. First thing that I did is select some accessories that I think I'm gonna need. And the first one is a proper lid, something to retain the heat with. So I can turn this grill into an actual compact oven or a smoker. Now the cool thing is that this is a glass lid, and it also means I can keep my eye on the meat that is cooking. But there's one more problem I need to solve, because I got my grill grates and then underneath is the charcoal basket, like this. But as you can see, the charcoal basket has holes in it, and when it fires up, the heat comes from below straight up onto the grill grate, heating up the grill grate and giving it a lot of direct heat. Now I want to divert the direct heat, and therefore I came up with a plan. So this is their pizza stone, and I thought, what if I take this pizza stone, this charcoal basket, remove the lid and make the pizza stone the new charcoal basket. And then the grill grate is gonna float on top of it, giving me an indirect heat setup. Is it going to work? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's fire up the LotusGrill. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is remove the lid of the charcoal basket. Then I'm going to take some of the LotusGrill charcoal and create a base layer. Now this LotusGrill charcoal is specifically made for these baskets. It has a few smaller sized chunks of charcoal, and it's made of birch, so that means it's going to burn real fast, real hot and real quick. And that's perfect if you want to start up the grill. Then you're going to need something that burns for a long time. So that's why I'm going to put on top these briquettes. And they already have some wood chips in them, which is going to release smoke flavor. And I'm going to fill up the rest with tiny pieces of charcoal. Time to get the actual grill in. Put in some starter fluid, light it up. Put the charcoal basket on top, put the pizza stone on. I'm already getting some smoke from the compact grill, so I want to hurry up. I want to catch the good smoke. And I selected some beautiful beef ribs. Not too crazy thick. There we go. Look at these beauties. Now, they still have the fat cap sitting on top of them, and they got the membrane at the bottom. In this case, I'm going to use that membrane to shield it even more, because we got a limited amount of height between the fire sauce and the actual protein. So this is going to be another layer of shield. I'm going to leave it on, and on top that fat cap and silver skin's got to go, because that will be sitting on top. And I do want a little bit of my seasoning to touch the meat, have the smoke add flavor to the meat. Oh, look at those. Those are some good looking beef ribs. For my seasoning, I'll be using the PITMASTERX Texas barbecue rub. And I'm going to season the top first with a little bit of that Texas barbecue rub. Press it a little bit so it sticks. And then I'm going to flip it around, put a little bit of that seasoning at the bottom. Then I'm going to follow it up with the PITMASTERX classic barbecue rub. Get a nice and even layer on top of it. That is looking like some beautiful proper beef ribs. Currently I got the thermometer running at about 60 degrees Celsius. The grill's still warming up, pizza stone's warming up. I want this to go slowly, and by touching it with the hand I can already feel a right amount of heat, a lot of heat actually, coming up. So I want this to go slow. This grill can go really hot, real fast, and taking it slow at first is going to just help me get the beef up the temperature without actually grilling it. I'd rather having to push up a little bit later on than to overshoot it at the moment. So I'm happy with the temperature. It is smoking, which is awesome. And I can see a little bit of the smoke color picking up at the lid. This actually looks like it might work. And I'll know I'll be here for this experiment to happen. I'm gonna stand right next to it, look at it, keep my eye on the temperature. And if I need to, I can just touch this dial and then you will hear the fan start running. And as you can see, we're getting more smoke, we're getting more heat. As for now, I'm just gonna leave it at a nice medium speed. And I'm just gonna wait for it to naturally come up to temperature. And I'm looking for a smoking temperature of around 120 degrees Celsius. And now we'll just stick around and wait. Look at this. Those are some good looking beef ribs. Beautiful color, nice mahogany red from the smoke. We got a little bit of bark. Some of the juice started pooling on top of the beef rib, so we got a little bit of spots over there and there. But other than that, this is looking absolutely fantastic. What I want to do now is wrap these up, because the fat is rendering down, it's dripping into the sides of the barbecue, and it's creating extra smoke. And therefore keeping the moisture in, keeping the fat in will help to cook the beef ribs, keep them moist, and absolutely freaking delicious, because we won't have over smoked beef ribs.
Smells really good.
It would be the weirdest thing if these are going to be freaking amazing beef ribs on a compact grill. It is doing so well that it's actually very, very suspicious.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, all the efforts of cooking beef ribs on complex grills, and then this little compact grill comes along and steals the show. I'm gonna double wrap this because the heat source is very close to the meat. So it's gonna be 2 layers of heavy duty aluminum foil, and then this goes back on. Now, another thing that I wanna do is do a quick check on the charcoal, see how far along we are, because this thing just keeps on running. It's kind of suspicious. The charcoal's burned down, but we got about 1, 2, 3, 4 briquettes left. I'm gonna add a couple more briquettes just to make sure that we can make it. Right, pizza stone goes back on. The cool thing about the pizza stone is that there's like a layer on top of the pizza stone that prevents the fat from going in. And that's very convenient, because that means next time you just have to wipe it off if you want to use it. What? I'm just amazed how good those beef ribs look. Insane. All right, we'll just wait some more. I'll keep you posted. We'll keep our eye on this. How is this even possible? A tabletop compact grill, smoking beef ribs, like it's nothing. The end result might be catastrophe, something like that. All right, another 1.5 hours has gone by. Oh yeah, it's going a little bit fast. And I think that is because of the closeness of the heat. I added a little bit more briquettes, but the temperature on the lid, there's like a temperature gauge here, that is just staying super, super stable. And I'm just super curious to see if they're not all cooked yet. Whoa, look at how amazing that looks. It's insane. And I'm gonna measure the temperature. It says we're at 98 degrees Celsius, but that would be pulling temperatures. However, it hasn't had time to render yet. So we got the temperature right, but we haven't had the time. So what I'm talking about is that the meat itself is sufficiently cooked through, but the thermometer is not falling through like it's butter. That means it hasn't had the opportunity to fully render down the collagen, the fat. We still have to do that. So I'm going to wrap it back up. I'm going to take it off the barbecue because I don't need to cook it any further. I'm going to set the LotusGrill aside. I'm going to switch it off, and I'm going to take out my camping cooler, of course. It's going to be my summer setup, and I'm going to leave it in the cooler for at least 2 hours. Letting it rest, and in the meantime it's going to render down completely and hopefully become super, super soft. But that means we got 2 hours of smoking, we got 1.5 hours of getting it up to temperature, which is total 3.5 hours, and then another 2 hours for letting it rest. So that's going to be 5.5 hours, and hopefully we're going to have some delicious beef ribs. One more thing I wanted to show you, and that is the fat rendering down during the cooking process. Where did it go? How much is it? Take the grill grates out, get the pizza stone out. Oh, look at that. There's so much charcoal briquette still left in. 1.5 hours didn't even make a dent in the amount of charcoal that we have in. And then this is a little bit, just a little bit of fat sitting here at the bottom. But the pan catches the fat, and that's a nice thing. I think we're looking good. This is a dishwashing project. Great job to do while we wait for our beef ribs. You could drink a beer, but 2 hours might be drunk. I'm just gonna clean up first. Moment of truth. Let's get the beef ribs out. Never ever waste those juices. Let's slice into this. That looks like some freaking delicious beef ribs. Ho ho ho. Let's get another slice. That looks really, really good. I just want to bite into it. And I don't see any reason why not to bite into it. But I do now see a reason why. Let me explain. Look at the smoke ring that we've got from this little compact grill. That is insane. A nice smoke ring. The fat rendered actually really, really well, even though the time that it was on was a little bit on the short side. I'm just gonna get a bite out of this. Looks so good. I can't believe it. How is this even possible? Of a compact grill. This tastes really, really good. If it would have a little bit more time, the rendering would be a little bit better, but it's so juicy and it's so flavorful. It's just really, really good. I'm eating the whole thing in front of you, and I do apologize, but it tastes so good. This is insane. I never expected this up front when I started this experiment. I wanted to do something with this compact grill that will blow your mind and will blow my mind. So I came up with a thing that I thought, well, it probably won't work as well. Now what? I hope you're now hungry for beef ribs. See you guys in the next video. Wow.